Today we're going to be reviewing a K&F Concept tripod that I decided to purchase. Let's get on with this. I'm not going to do any major unboxing because I really can't stand unboxing. This is what it comes in. So once you've taken it out of the box, you have your nice little bag. To be honest, I never really use a bag when you take a tripod. Big chunky zips, so that's nice. So inside you get your tripod, you get some paper, Allen key, a short center column, and a strap. So nothing really that different there. It's the first time I've had a tripod that the ball head has a sock so it can go sleepy bye-byes. So that's new. So quality wise, I'll see if you can get nice and close. You can see it's really good quality. They've obviously, the craftsmanship and the time they've taken to go in there is nice. I also like the little points here where it actually locks when you stretch the legs. Let me see if you can see that. That's actually really well made, nice and deep, good ridges in there. So I know that's not going to slip. I've had one of my Manfrottos has slowly worn over time, so it ends up slipping there. I like the iodized kind of red pinky color parts, so that's nice. So once you've had this, it's quite simple to pop open really. You just flick the legs all the way down. You can hear a distinct click. And same on this side. So you can see from there, let's move this rubbish out of the way. Nice and simple. They lock really well, so that's not going to move anywhere. Definitely not going to move. So for your center column, again, I like the fact they've paid attention to things like being able to have something to grip and to turn easily. And this is just, you know, you've got enough space to be able to hold and move. So nice sit when it moves really simply, which is nice. So time for the ball head. Okay, for me, ball head is really nice. I actually really like this. I did buy another one, but that was just because they had a new one that was coming out and it was a lower profile. So unscrews nice and simply. I'm only doing this so you can have a better view. If it unscrewed, blimey, there we go. So the ball head is nice. It is really nice. And I know you're not meant to test it this way, but I tend to loosen up the ball head itself, and then I normally drop it down. I'll tighten it. Okay, so that's not too much force. And then I see if I can actually bend it and move it, and this is just, it's rock solid. I can't move it. I've tried it with my Sony with a really long lens. I didn't weigh up the lens. It holds the weight fine. It doesn't creep. It doesn't slide down. It's perfect. Quick release plate, really nice as well. Nothing to complain about there. The 360 degree. It's nice that you've got the notches and everything else, and that is really smooth. So it's not loose, but it's got enough friction in there that it's not gonna, you know, you're not gonna go past your point if you're really trying to get it, or especially if you're panning with your camera while videoing. It's just really smooth. So that's the ball head. I'll get the other ball head in a bit so you can see the difference, but it's actually really good quality on this one. So I'll probably take this off and put it on one of my other tripods. It's that good, I like it. Now, let's get onto the good one. So, on some of my other tripods, when you want to tilt this at a 90 degree and have it hanging over, so like now I'm using one for my Sony to record this, you have to pull it up, unscrew a part on the bottom of the center column so it can go through the tripod and then hang over. This is just so simple. So I've got to try and find a good way to show you. So this is nice and simple. You loosen from here, okay? You have a small part on the bottom there, which instead of it unscrewing loads and loads, you can see you just twist it a couple of times. It's got a spring mechanism, pops off. And all you do from there, lift up, hang over, you're done. That's it. That's as simple as that is. There you go. The reason I took this bottom piece out is because if you do macro, and I like to do some macros when it's warmer, once you've taken this bottom piece out, you just slide it through, slide in the bottom there, tighten, there we go, you're done. There you go. You can loosen at this top part, it will drop down. I'm sorry it's not the best view at the moment. And then you can extend. It's lovely. You can't, and again, you've got the same panning feel that you do with the actual ball head, which is it's nice. It's not too quick. It's got quite a nice set of dampening in there, which is really, really good. And to release, simple unscrew. So this is what it looks like with all the parts. There we go. Not attached. So when you've taken it apart, so these are the parts laid out. So when you've literally stripped the tripod apart, these are all the parts that you're going to end up having. So if we want to make it into a monopod, we've already screwed off the leg. Okay. We've taken the center column out. We've had a thread and a bolt which came in the packaging, and you literally screw that in a bit, screw in the leg, and you have yourself a very, very long monopod. I'm 5'9". I'm just going to extend it and see if it goes higher than me, but it definitely goes higher than me. Yeah, about 5'9", 5'10" in height. And then obviously when you put your camera on the top, so that's how simple that is there. So to take it apart again, we just unscrew. We've taken off our leg. This is our center column. Taken off our bolt. Don't know if the camera would be able to pick up that, but we've seen a bolt before. Simple. And we're done there. And again, to put it back together, we have our tripod, we have our leg. We're going to screw our leg in. Done. So our leg's all screwed in, that's fine. Center column slides in, really simple. Tighten it up. And obviously the only bit that I would say is fiddly would only be this bottom part here. And obviously you can see from this that you have your hook when you want to hang some weight on, stop the tripod from tipping over. And we have our ball head, which will then screw on, and then you're done. I'm not going to screw on that yet. Then you have this part, which is obviously to shorten your center column here. So here we go, to shorten your center column. So if you're doing really, really low macro, this will go in and replace that, because the legs can open up. Now their last locking point is here. So that's actually really, really wide. And then you'll have this part here, this center column there, along with your ball heads, and I think you'd actually probably be touching the ground at that point, depending on how wide you've got the legs spread out and how long. But yeah, nice addition that is. And I'll show you now the reason why I got a slightly different ball head. So let me just quickly run off and pick it up. I'll be back in 1 sec. Okay, I've got the ball head. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. The reason I'm going to do these two together is just purely on the basis of, if you are going to buy this tripod, so if you are going to buy the K&F tripod, the 72, I just saw this new ball head, which I thought was really nice. And when it's comparable to this one, but it's teeny, so a lot smaller. So this is their new version. This is the KF28, if you can see. Yeah, so this is the KF28. Still has quick release plate at the top. Nice touch of the K&F branding on it. I don't know if you can see there. So with the grip, and this just nice again, nice and simply pops out, locks in. And you've also got numbered gauges here as well. So if you want to know how far forwards and backwards you've got it. At the bottom here, you also have your numbers. So your full 360 degrees. The dampening on this is also very nice, very similar to the other. So if you look at them both side by side, I prefer this locking mechanism than the thumb one. But this is big enough and got enough grip to still turn. It's just for me, when you're doing something on the fly and you're trying to move quite quick and you want to tilt the head, I just find with my thumb I can lock it and it's locked. Nice and simple instead of having to keep twisting. Profile wise, let's level these up so it's level. Profile wise, you can see the difference. It's just teeny. It looks absolutely miniature compared to this one. I mean, some people may want something larger to use, but considering they both can take roughly the same capacity, I'm going to get the exact specs. Right, yes, so the tripod itself, obviously with the ball head, it's got a 10 kilogram load. I've just checked, and we've got the same 10 kilogram load as well on the more smaller version. So they've both got bubble levels as well. But if you want something smaller, I would sit there and get this. But if you want to get a £100 tripod, which I mean, it holds up really well to my Manfrotto. To be honest, now my Manfrotto is about 4 or 5 years old, but second hand, which is how I'd like to compare it because it's fair. If you were to look online for my Manfrotto, you'd probably be paying 180, 190 quid still. That's more because of the brand. I think K&F Concept so far, they're really being innovative and pushing forward. And they get overlooked a lot because obviously people think budget means crap. And to be honest, it's not crap. I've used it, I've tested it. I've had friends who'd come round who had seen it, were impressed by the make, how quick it pops up, how quickly you can just hang it over at 90 degrees. So for me, this will be my main use now. I'll probably do another update on my site, but so you can see here the little notches, the little locking mechanism, how it will lock in. And because these are, again, the notches are really, really thick here. You can see that when you press and it locks in, you can see that it won't move. There's no way that's actually going to move. So it's a nice, solid tripod, and I love the finish. The Monopod's a great addition. I have one in my car already, Monopod. Whether I would use this that much, I have no idea, because my other one is half the size of this and it just extends to about 5.5 foot. This particular tripod as well can go up to, if I remember correctly, 1.5 meters, just over 1.5 meters tall. So that's, again, really, really impressive again. Nice. It's something that I'd need a probably step ladder to look at the camera with. But it's a great tripod. I recommend it 100%. If I was to point out a negative, because it's only fair to try and point a negative out, because I don't want to try and be non-biased, I like, and I don't know if they do actually, let me have a look first before I say it. I haven't. No. I like the tripods that also have the steel points. All my other tripods have the steel point, because sometimes when I'm out and let's say I'm doing a landscape or I'm doing a waterfall, I find that these will slip on a rock a lot more than when I have a nice steel point which I can then put into a little gap or crevice so it won't slide. I mean, whether this will be a problem or not, probably not. I can still probably wedge it, but it's something that I would like to have a nice sharp point where it can dig in and I know it's quite, it won't slide. But I'm not sure how good the grip is of these in that instance, but as soon as I find it out and I try it, I will let you know. So I hope you found this useful, guys. If there's anything I missed or any other questions you want to ask on this particular tripod, give me a shout and I will be more than happy to answer it. So until next time, see you again.